What's going on, everybody? Come on in. It's the real deal. What up, Tiff and Tom? Let's go. Yeah. Oh, man. We got a lot to talk about. Let me get some likes, y'all, when y'all come in. What's going on? I had a very interesting Father's Day. Well, the early part especially. Very interesting indeed. We have some breaking news to talk about tonight, guys. You know, here at Shame TV's Watch, I like to bring you guys witnesses or as close to it as I can get. I like to try to find people who know these people, who've done business with these people, who are, have been around them, see the inner workings, things that we might not know about, And sometimes information you have to go looking for it, It doesn't just fall right into your lap. Then sometimes it falls right into your lap. And the case in point is certain information that has fallen right into my lap. Now, I'm going to take it slow. Roll that beautiful bean footage. What I'm going to try to do today is take it slow. I want to, because I got a lot to set up with the guy, and I want to make sure everything's done right. So what I am going to do, like I said, tonight is actually put it out there a little bit, just in a conversation, and just talk about some of the things that we're going to be talking about this week. There's a few things that are going to be coming up, so I kind of want to get you guys as prepared as possible, for that. So, yeah, it's come to my attention that there's much more to this whole Polight stuff and Sonetta stuff, more than we know. We've already all found out about the police and how he has supposed gang members as police officers in his crew, in his pictures, and they're supposed to be gang members. We've all heard and seen the breaking news about this supposed tranny stuff. I'm not even going to go into that because I don't know anything about it to go into it about. So I'm not, until I get a little more information about that, I'm not even going to say shit. But one of the things that I want to start talking about tonight, guys, and preparing you for the interview, it's going to be Shame TV's first interview. It's going to be our first interview, guys. So I'm going to have the fellow on probably for about an hour or so. I told him to try to prepare for 2 hours. So that way we can have a nice, long, good conversation. Just today talking to him, it was very, very enlightening. And it's like eye-opening about what's going on in this whole conscious community. And there's a lot of players in this. There's a lot of players that are going to get brought up. A lot of minions that are going to get brought up. And a few of them, one of them, let's start by saying this. One of them is Sci-Fi, Sister Sci-Fi. Another, what's that group out there in Philly, man? Black and Nobel. Black and Nobel is another one. We got that have been implicated. Come on, there's a couple more. In the black media. In the black media has been implicated. And so it's a few players now. It's not just Sonetta and Polight. Okay? It's not just Sonetta and Polight, though they are the usual suspects, but it's not just them, guys. It's a cast of characters. Red pill, blue pill as well. So let's get ready to go in. What am I talking about here, guys? What am I having us chat about? What are we revealing tonight? What am I talking about? Okay. I'm talking about, let's start with Polight. Was he always this way? Was Polight, the things that Polight talks about now, was he always talking about this shit? Was this guy? Did he come around? Is there a genesis to this shit? Okay? So, Inside Scoop tells me this. I'm going to call him Inside Scoop for right now. Inside Scoop tells me this. Inside Scoop says that Polight started off one way, and due to revelation and truth and all these other people around, he had to modify who he is. So what we see right now, this whole Polight that we see, this whole Polight that we think we know, and even the shit that we've actually been shown by this fraud, all of that shit, all of it is nothing but an adaptation. He had to adapt and change. Okay? He had to adapt and change. He started out not talking anything about Kemet, the Medunetta, religion, or none of that shit. That is not what Polight was about. He did not start out talking about having 10 wives and marrying hookers and all of that shit. That is not how Polight started out. Sonetta, it's been said that, and I heard Lex Vortex say this, that, and he's hinting around that maybe Sonetta was tricked by Polight like everyone else was. I even did a video the other day using the sister Lolita out in Canada, I think she's still in, and she was saying how, she doesn't particularly blame Sonetta. Again, Filthy Frank trying to slither and slip his way out of shit. But my inside source tells me that they go back a long time. And not only do they go back a long time, that Sonetta knew the type of person that Polight was. He knew that Polight was switching up and changing his whole platform and changing his whole style. This was known by Sonetta. So all this, maybe Sonetta didn't know and he was tricked. No, bullshit. So we want to know, and the people want to know, this breaking news about, did Polight just by happenstance move to California? You mean to tell me Polight just up and out of nowhere decided to move to California? Nope. Polight was forced to move west. Some may look at it as a calculated plan. Just a thespian group of a troupe. But my inside source lets me know that how we make fun of him, those things are actually true. That this person basically got exposed in the East Coast. We think that Polight went out west and got exposed. No. That's not what happened. That's not what happened at all. Polight got exposed on the East Coast. Polight can't do shit over here. He can't do shit over here. It was a calculated plan. Once he dried up and the scam ran up in New York and New Jersey and going all up the coast, it started moving along. Didn't you notice that after all these New York debates and all this shit, all of a sudden Polight cares about Chicago, and he wants to go to Chicago, and he wants to help all these people out in Chicago, and he wants to do all of this shit. He wants to do all of these things in Chicago and out in the Midwest and in Detroit. He's out in Detroit, helping out in Detroit in the water and all this shit. His ass was, he wasn't doing these things because he wanted to. If he could still be on the East Coast pimping the fuck out of people, trust and know through my inside source that Polight's ass would be here on the East Coast pimping the fuck out of people. He cannot do it anymore. He has been doing this longer than we know or knew. This shit goes back to 2000 almost. The early 2000s. Polight has not just started doing this shit in 2016. He didn't start doing this shit when we seen him pop up in 2015 and 2013 on Side Data Channel and shit. This shit was going on long before then. So, through my inside source, who will be Shane TV's first interview coming up this week, my inside source let me know that not only has Polight run out his luck and pretty much is fucked when it comes to being on the East Coast, and that he went through the Midwest so fast and got exposed out there so fast that he can't even, y'all know about the Chicago and Detroit shit. Them niggas is trying to kill his ass. So like he can't do anything there. So the Midwest, he sucked that up real fast. But all of that was in a plan. It was all a gathering. It was all on his way to the West, where nobody knew who he was. He had a few people who may have known who he was from seeing him through the conscious community, but by and large, no one knew who the fuck Polight was, because even on the East Coast, by and large, nobody knows Brother Polight. If you walk up to people and ask them about him, no, people will look at you like you're fucking crazy. Nobody knows who the fuck Polight is. But in certain circles, people know who Polight is. So in like our circle, people know who Polight is. In our circle, you can say the name Delbert Blair, and people will know who that is. If you just go out to any old circle and say Bobby Hemmett or Delbert Blair, most people might not know that. They might not know who he is. So you have to think of, he's going out west. No one knows this fucker over there. This is what he was banking on. All the money and all the schemes and all the bullshit he did was enough for him to come out west and pretend to live a life of luxury, which would, by pretending to have a life of luxury, would get him more attention, which means the more attention he gets, the more gullible people that will come along and give him money. Shame. So all of this was a calculated plan. All of the things that we've been saying all along is in fact a calculated plan. Now, I brought up Sister Sci-Fi. I brought up in the black media. Why would I do that? Okay, am I just doing that just to bring them up? Absolutely not. That is not what is going on. That is not what I'm doing at all. I'm bringing them up because scoop, my insider has personal first-hand knowledge. I'm going to say this again. Personal first-hand knowledge that Sister Sci-Fi, among others in the black media, knew and heard about people and other people who had certain people, like my insider, who has information on Polight. My insider also has information on Sonetta. But these people did not want to take that information from them because my insider does not want to give it in a confrontational way. My insider says he merely wants to share his opinion, and he also wants to come on to my platform and share his findings, his method of fighting his court system, fighting the court system, fighting his cases, and things of that nature. Okay, so that's what he wants to come on my platform and do. I have no problem with that. Everyone here knows that I talk about status correction in the court system all the time. So he wants to come on my platform and do that, and I will allow him to do that. Again, this week, Shame TV will be our first interview, and I'm going to let him come up here and say what he's got to say. All of it, I'll let you be the judge, the audience, and you guys can be the judge, and we'll move on from there. But that is not the only reason that he decided to come on. He also wants to, other than just passing on his method, he also has so much information about this conscious community, about how he had certain programs set up, okay? Certain programs were set up where we could go to certain bookstores, and through these bookstores, certain purchases could be made for people to have, and a lot of things that, a lot of the books and information that people were not able to get, they would be able to get these things for a lower price, and that he wanted all the profits and proceeds to go to some sort of charity. Now, he was like, he has no problem with the bookstore making a little money for selling the books, but by and large, he wanted the proceeds to go to some sort of charitable institution, something to give back and help people. Meaning, he didn't even want money for any of this stuff that he's putting together. He just went to this bookstore because they purport to be a black-owned, about black people bookstore, and so he went to them and was turned down. Now, this store is Black and Nobel, okay? And Black and Nobel turned him down for the same reason Sister Sci-Fi turned him down. The same reason in the black media turned him down. The same reason all of them turned him down is because he will not be confrontational. They want to use him basically in a sneak attack against Sonetta. See what I told you, Frankie? Hold on, guys. Yeah. Told you guys, man, this rabbit hole goes real got people who were trying to expose Polight and his fuckery not a month ago, not a week ago, not a couple days ago, we're talking about years ago. Years ago. Sci-Fi, she didn't want to take the information by him just, I'm going to allow him to come on and just first announce who he is, what he's about, what he does, all of this stuff. The programs that he has set up, I'm going to allow him to offer them to you guys. I looked through some of it. I looked through a lot of it today. It makes sense. So I'll let you guys be the judge yourself. I'll let you be the judge yourself. But, like I said, but that is not all that he has to add. That is not all. Like I said, the whole House of Consciousness fiasco, in his words, I'm going to give it to you guys like this. And you're going to hear from him this week. And you're going to hear it in his own words. But I'm going to tell you what he said in his words. He would have ended Polight a long time ago. He would have ended Polight before Polight even started. But nobody wanted to touch it. Nobody wanted to expose him. Everybody wanted to use this person because they thought that he would end up being some sort of meal ticket, which is what they use Polight for now. So there's a lot that's been going on. I'll let him tell his story. I just wanted you guys to get some sort of heads up. I wanted you guys to know that here at Shame TV East Watch, we are continuing the fight. We are not resting over here. And a lot of times the fight is continued by people who just want to come on and continue it on a platform because they don't have one themselves. Oh, wow, Moonette, oh my art. Shame. I see. But yeah, man, I can't wait, man. It's going to be our first interview. I'm excited, guys. I'm so excited. Can't wait to get it started. Can't wait to have a person, we all see, can't wait to have a person that finally can give testimony, you know? The brother mentioned Brother Royale. The Brother Royale. He didn't speak, and the crazy part about it, he didn't even really drag Polight per se, you know, like the way we do sometimes when we make fun of Polight. But it's like the way he was saying it was like, look, man, I just want to pass my information. And, you know, he said he talked to Royale, and him and Royale had some things in the works, but Royale had backed out for whatever the reason. I guess Royale didn't want any more issues with Sonetta and them. Because the way it looks, man, Royale is not really confrontational like that. You know, his page had never really been like that because I'm subscribed to him. So I never seen him be real confrontational. So for him to say he backed out or something like that, I could see that. I could see that. So I just want to give you guys a heads up, you know? I just want to give you guys a little heads up to let you know to be prepared this week. I just want to set it up since it's it'll be our first interview. I want to do it right, you know? I want to do it the best that we can. And I just want you guys to have some sort of idea of what you're coming into. You know how I am. I keep it real with you as much as I possibly can, you know, and I want you guys to, like I said, have a heads up and know what's going on. You know, to know that there are people out here who do have a voice, who do have things to say about Polight, Sonetta, and that whole fiasco. And that they're being silenced and Time has come, man, for that to end. You know, people need to know that Polight did not move to California because the hood was so bad. You know, people need to know that Polight didn't move to California because these animals in the hood, you know, were just so fucking animals and these fucking hoods and these blah blah blah. Nah, shut up. That was Polight in his Oscar award-winning performance of an angry black man who is moving away from the ghetto. That's what that was. Because that had nothing to do with why this nigga is leaving. He's leaving because the jig is up. It's like a magician who keeps playing a trick in a small town. And a little kid spots him and sees the trick and uncovers the trick. He can't keep playing the trick. It's time for him to move on to the next town. He'll never make another red penny. He must move on. And that's where we're at with Polight. He has to move on. The problem with Polight now is the spotlight has become so big. It has become so big that you have nowhere else to squirm to. That's why we see debate, because we've all talked about this before. I'm not rich and I don't ever purport to be such. But what I do know is millionaires don't run 50,000 subscriber YouTube pages 24/7 and be all in the chat. So that's just, come on, man. So what we need to do now, guys, is just prepare ourselves to let you guys know that I'm going to have our first Shane TV interview this week. I want you guys to come out and join, participate, of course, as you always do. Stay active in the chat. Stay watching all the trolls. Stay watching all the tricksters. They're out there. They're never not out there. What I want you guys to also keep in mind is that this person didn't move because he wanted to. He didn't move. You didn't move because you wanted to. You moved because your ass had to. Yeah, I'm talking to you. You moved because you had to. I can't wait. I can't wait till y'all hear his voice, because you're gonna know who he is. He assured me that you will know who he is as soon as the name is revealed. You will know who he is. Black and Nobel, you know who he is. In the black media, them fucking weirdos, they so fuck. He said he went to In the Black Media and he said that God told that nigga, God had all the information too. He said that God wouldn't do it because he needed him to basically be confrontational with Sarnetta. He didn't want to do it if he wasn't gonna come out. It wasn't gonna come at Sarnetta. So it's like, damn, nigga, you niggas. I just seen Old God on YouTube TV with Sarnetta. They was all kikiing and ha-ha and kicking and shit. You was just up there with them, chilling, kicking it and everything. And somebody came to you with information about, inside information about Polight and the shit that he was selling and the shit that he was bullshitting and bullshitting people with. He knows this shit. In the black media knew this shit and they didn't want to take it because dude didn't want to come out and be confrontational. I told him he don't have to be confrontational because I'm not going to be confrontational. I'm just going to fucking share the information. That's all. So let us know. Let us be confident in everything that we were saying before, guys, when we were wondering whether, well, why is this and why is that? There's no need to wonder anymore. Polight had been running around New York and New Jersey selling UCCs, and all of a sudden he just stopped selling UCCs. Or like not the way he was doing it before. Then he switched up from that and he became this spiritual guru, Malachi Z. York / whatever the fuck else he calls himself. You guys know all the cool things he says about himself. So yeah, it's so much more, man. It's just so much more. It was so much in a short frame of time, you know. The illustrious one. Because he wasn't always illustrious. That's what you guys need to realize. He was not always illustrious. He was not always Mr. Vegan. He was not always this person. He was Mr. I'll get you out of jail free for a fee / guy. Until all of that got busted up. When all that shit got busted up and all his UCC shit started getting busted up by certain people out here on the East Coast, what he did was he ran and switched up and started talking about Hebrews and how God don't do this and how the Muslims and how all of this shit, all the shit you heard him say. You know, all the shit you heard him say before. And all the time he took a supposed trip to Kemet or whatever, so to some other museum in Egypt or whatever. Supposedly, who knows? But all that cool stuff he was doing to make it look like he was so knowledgeable about what was going on. Baby, is that you? Hold on, guys, 2 seconds. I'll get him. Yeah, man. I know it's late, y'all. I ain't gonna keep y'all all night long. I just wanted y'all to know. I just wanted y'all to know that the hunt is on, man. The hunt is on. Everything's still moving forward. Ain't nobody let it go. And the fact that we haven't let it go, more and more information has come to us. More and more insiders have come to us. And the insiders are giving me information about them to let us know that all our assumptions before, because we could call them assumptions, because we didn't know the shit 150%. It wasn't something that we knew for sure. It was assumptions. We were assuming that, hey, this guy moved here, this guy moved there, for whatever the reason was. And a lot of the assumptions were educated guesses that made sense. But we didn't know for sure. Now we know for sure. Now we know for sure. Now there's no confusion. Now there's nothing. Okay? We all know that tonight, Polight was in the chat and he said he'll be there. I hope he's there. It's my first interview, so I can use the views. I'm with all that. No problem with it. But it's gonna happen. It has to happen. This has to take place. There has to be someone who comes up with enough damning evidence to shut this whole reunion debate without any explanation to all the shit that's been going on down. All of that has to be shut down. All of it. There can be no reunion debate, because that's what it's called. People knew about this and they covered it up, Sonetta. That's another point that I want to touch on before we get off, guys. How all these people that are basically trying to take Sonetta's platform from them. Because they had information, but they didn't feel that their platform was powerful enough to challenge him with that information, unless certain individuals went ahead and basically came out and dogged Sonetta with them. And so when my insider decided not to come at it in that manner, saying like, look, man, I'm just passing information. You know, you do it and however you do it. Here's just information. I know these guys. I met with Sonetta long time ago. So this is not someone who's never talked, met, seen nothing Sonetta. No. This is someone who knows you. This is someone who helped your platform get started, so to speak, Sonetta. I didn't even bring that part up. About how he helped your platform get started. As far as on YouTube TV, showing you and helping you how to make the videos and live streams and all of that stuff. Yeah. This ain't nobody that's claiming to have bought something from Polight or claim. This is someone who was around these individuals. This is someone who was help there. Polight is a fucking Polight will morph into whatever it takes to survive on YouTube TV and this semi-fame. As you notice, did you see the Sister Lolita's video when she said, that's the reason I put it up. How she was talking about how the elders who have people who have platforms and they known about it and they could have said something, but they not. And that's why I put up Sonetta when he was saying all that shit about Polight, how he fake and he not real and he got so much information about Polight. This is what he means. Exactly what I'm talking about right now. I'm talking about the so much information on Polight. That's what I'm talking about right now. That's so much information on Polight. That's how I'm able to tell you guys he ain't moved because he wanted to. He didn't just, if he moved because he wanted to, he would have just fucking got up and moved. He wouldn't have slowly moved across the country. Yeah. Sonetta knew. That's why I put it in the video. Sonetta could have. He could have broke the news, as you saw he was doing, and then turned around and did what? We gotta bring the debates back, starting with who? Guess who? Brother Polight. Why wouldn't he start with Polight? Because he's been fucking with him from all this time. All this time. This is crazy, man. Does anybody know the nuances of polite status correction? I've heard him say it, but not much anymore. Like, I remember all Polight used to say out of his mouth was UCC this and UCC that and UCC. He doesn't really say that anymore like that. I wonder why. That's so she just said that damn sofa holds all the information. That sofa and Israel Doctrine's recording session, they got all the information. Yeah, breaking news. Breaking news here at Shane TV, East Watch. Breaking news. We have an insider who will be the first person interviewed on Shane TV this week. Exclusive. We're going to be going into why Brother Polight decided to leave the East Coast. We're also going to be going into why Brother Polight doesn't use UCCs and use those terms anymore like that. We're also going to go into why Brother Polight became this spiritual guru type person, Kemetic power person. We're going to find out why this happened. We're all going to know now that this is not by happenstance. That this is what all traveling circuses do. The traveling circus doesn't stay in Chicago. It plays Chicago till the crowds start getting small. And when the crowds start getting small, what happens? They move on. They move on from Chicago to Tallahassee, Florida. Here in Tallahassee, Florida, we have the new such and such thespian circus. And once the crowds start getting small, after they play Tallahassee for a couple weeks, what happens? They move on. We're going to Baton Rouge, Louisiana. And now they're playing Louisiana. It's all a fucking, it's a circus, man. A traveling circus. I want to do it, Tasha, by Wednesday. I don't want it to go past Wednesday. Because I'm still looking over a lot of the information that the brother's been sending me, and just it's good stuff. And like I said, the whole purpose of the interview is not just to expose Polight and Black and Nobel and Sister Sci-Fi and all these people. It's not just for that, you know, but it's also, like I said, to let him show his method. You know, he wants to show his method. He wants to show his methods for fighting the court system. And the beautiful thing about this thing is the brother is showing you all of this stuff. He'll help you, and he's not charging you money. And what I mean by not charging you money, not telling you it's all going to be for free and then asking you for your credit card information. So, and that was the whole premise of him even coming on my show with his method, because he said, hey, you can tell your people first off, right off the bat, that I don't want a single penny from them. So I'm not up here trying to get anything from them. So I have no problem with letting him come on the platform, and that's what this is about. Other black people coming on. But this whole HOK thing is so relevant that we must dive deeper. We must talk about this. We cannot let these things slide. I don't plan on letting it slide. I plan on having a wonderful time as he chats and chats and chats. I plan on having a wonderful time to see how many people come to our chat. Yes, everyone. Brother Polight moved to California, was not by happenstance. And Brother Polight's move to California, if you don't take anything else from this live stream, know that Brother Polight's move to California had absolutely nothing to do with these quote unquote animals in the hood. Because he was the only animal in the goddamn hood. We already know the reason why his hairline is like that, because his barber couldn't cut his hair. Remember he said the barber was scared to cut his hair because he was scared somebody was going to shoot him? Yeah, because you were scamming motherfuckers. You were scamming people so bad you can't even get a haircut. This nigga scared people so bad that he couldn't even get a haircut. That's why his hair looked like that. Oh man, I'm having fun, guys. I'm having fun, man. Shame TV, East Watch, bringing it to you, an exclusive, our first interview this week. An insider, an early insider, who's going to come and reveal that all the things that we've talked about are true. He's going to come on and he's going to reveal everything that we spoke about all this shit being contrived, that people are coming out with information, not to share information, but to pretend as though they're sharing information so that they can have debates set up and charge you to come to them. That's it. None of these people wanted to break this information on Polight inside that because the person who was giving them the information did not want to come in some sort of YouTube confrontational way. So they overlooked it. They ignored it. They decided to move past it. And then they ultimately decided that Sinetta was a gravy train and they were just going to ride that gravy train. Oh God is a fat lying piece of shit who said that he was going to have, that he does his due diligence. Apparently not. Oh God wanted to have a confrontational situation. Oh God wanted to challenge you, Sinetta, but he felt that he didn't have enough strength even with my insider to challenge you, so he joined you. That just lets you guys know that none of these people stand on anything that they say they stand on. In the black media is now in the back media. You must move to the back. We must, and the most important part of the interview, guys, is when you discover why Polight started becoming this Kemet guy and this religious guy and this spiritual guru person. Because this was not Brother Polight. This was not him when he came around. That was not his original hustle. Am I saying it correctly now? That was not Polight's original hustle. His original hustle was status correction in UCC books. That was his hustle. And something and someone came around with a lot of power and changed all of that. And Polight had to morph. He had to change from Cavity. He had to morph from Irvin Michael Nope Jr. He had to morph from all of that into something else. Do you want to know how easy for it is for him to morph? We should all know how easy it is. We watched him morph into a Hollywood celebrity pretend person. We watched him be all about black people, all this shit, and then he morphed into a Hollywood celebrity person. He morphed into this because he's been morphing whenever necessary. Another person that helped or made him morph were the Hebrew Israelites, because he was doing lectures with them and battling with them, and them niggas was tearing his ass apart, except for Sonetta editing the videos, making it look like Polight was victorious. He after then, he said, fuck these niggas. I done scammed enough and made enough money off of my scams and these debates for me to now move along. But again, it wasn't just like he just woke up one day and said, hey, I made enough money, now I'm gonna move along. No. He was forced. He was forced. Sister Sci-Fi. Sister Sci-Fi. Oh God. Oh God. Black and Nobel. Just to name a few. Just to name a few. The three people that I said, which is just a few, all said the same exact thing, Sonetta. They all wanted to use my insider, except they wanted to use him to make him be confrontational, and he wasn't about that. All three of them said that. And Sonetta, you fuck with all three of them. That means they all ready to pounce on you right now. You think I'm just running game and saying shit because you think you could play chess. Nigga, they running game on you. They running game on you. You know what, Oak Tiff? The House of Consciousness loves other people's confrontation. The House of Consciousness does not like when they are confronted or have confrontation. They love building off of everyone else's confrontations. But when you bringing that heat to them, then there's a problem. And you guys are going to have a serious problem this week. Because it's going to be known that Polight was scamming people with this status correction shit long before we knew about it and certain people knew about it. And when certain people were approached long before all this breaking news, long before all the before internal affairs and all this stuff, people were coming to you and you were ignoring them unless they were coming under your wing. Long before Kev broke the walls down. This stuff could have been, Polight could have been stopped, people, a long time ago. And people like Black and Nobel and all these other people and these factions in Sonetta, they helped prop him up. And I have inside information as to the proof of that. So I want you guys to get ready. I want you guys to go to my home page in the link and click the description for Derek Jones Talks Tees, Shane TV Tees, and patronize my store. I want you to share this video. I want you to like it. I want you to subscribe if you're new, and I want you to be prepared for the Insiders interview. The Insiders, and thank you very much, Tasha Pope. I want y'all to be ready for the Insiders interview where we will answer the question, why did Polight actually leave? Why did Polight change and morph into this Black Power, African, Kemet, conscious, talking person? Why did he morph into that person the same way he morphed out of that person into a fake celebrity, rich guy person? So we are all now aware of his morphing ability. And here at Shane TV's Watch, we will uncover and go deeper into this whole House of Consciousness fiasco. We will ask the question why Sister Sci-Fi chose to disregard information from people with personal first-hand knowledge just because they didn't want to make an attack video. They wanted to use it in an attack, confrontational way. So like, comment, share, subscribe, guys. Again, this has been fun. We've been here for an hour. We're going to do another couple hours this week with this interview. This is going to be awesome. Can't wait to see you guys again. Go to the link in the homepage and buy a shirt. Support. I love you much. Shane TV, Oak Tiff, Darkman X TV, Chemo, of course, Tasha Pope. Everyone that's in here, I love you dearly. Sun Moon, glad you're back. Tawana Allen, you know I saw you. I love you guys dearly. Stay ready, stay prepared, stay giving out that calculated shame.